Well, last time on Beginning of the End, you went down to hole. At the bottom of the hole, you found you found some answers, but also some questions. You found the site at which Thessia began her journey to the surface. You found you found a rune that she had carved to incant that effect that still seemed charged with some kind of otherworldly power, possibly related to the stolen breath you theorized. You found some hyper-compressed rock that it turns out could make an interesting weapon or demolition tool. But before you had full time to reckon with that, you also found a very pissed off, very large stone swimmer back for round 2 with Thessia and Wither. Round 1 for Orcris, but he wasn't gonna be shown up. He decided to get up on the Hydra's back and force himself into its gullet, among other things. So you had yourselves a fun little time there, and at the end of it all, as the creature was on the verge of destruction, Wither left an opening deliberately, got chomped upon, and this had an unusual effect on the creature, as it initially was immediately almost rendered catatonic, and then as it came back to, seems to have been in a moment somehow domesticated, made servile to Wither. And in light of that, giving you the time to look around and think some more, you turned your attention to the problem that originally brought you down there, namely, what is the strategy going to be for trying to get Thessia not executed the day after tomorrow? And you batted about a number of ideas for that, and as you continued to strategize and considered performing some more experiments to follow up on what you had learned by examining the site of the incident, Thessia had a little bit of prickling on the back of her neck, a sense of being observed, and walked back toward the entrance to the cave and thought she heard retreating footsteps, and in a desperate and sudden effort to avoid any of that planning having been overheard, lashed out with her powers to try and seal the tunnel, and it didn't go great. She tried to invoke the power of the rune she had used before, and it gave her some gnarly feedback and rendered her back into a twitching, hallucinating mess momentarily. Orcris and Wither, presented with this scenario, you've started to haul her out of the underground and try and get her somewhere where hopefully she can be brought back to her senses. And so at the moment, we rejoin the two of you mid Benny Hill chase, carrying your your heavy friend with you. And you've started, I imagine, taking her back out the way you've come. Though you did quickly find that her invocation of her powers there was not entirely without effect. It does appear that the tunnel that Wither led you three through on your way here has diverted, and you're taking a slightly alternate route out.
Splendid.
Girl! All right, this can't be too hard. What's up with this alternate route?
Well,
is it,
well, it doesn't, the tunnel now curves. It curves where it hooked. It zigs where it zagged. However, it does not immediately pass through anything dangerous per se. But you're not guaranteed to come out where you went in. And
That's fine.
Indeed, as you make your way along, I'll just give this to you, Wither, based on your gift. You know from your sense of direction that where you've diverted, you're gonna emerge from this tunnel network probably into the first inhabited area you're gonna traverse through will probably actually be the Geode.
Ooh.
A visually stunning, wealthy enclave built into a massive natural cavern underground. Not the worst place you could end up, of course, but likely full of eyes.
I wonder.
Looks
Thessia's
over at Okris.
unconscious, right?
Thessia's current state is it's sort of she's seizing a bit. Her eyes are not shut. She's breathing, so she doesn't look entirely out, but she seems detached from reality at the moment. She's not capable of lucid speech, and it's not clear if she's aware what's happening around her.
Good enough. I'm going to try something. And because I actually don't want to pop out in the fancy side of town.
Okay.
I would like instead, so I'm going to draw the rune of shaping using a piece of chalk. And I'm going to put Thessia's hand on it to see if I can like by proxy use her ability to get us into a more discreet part of town.
This is great. It reminds me of many years ago. I was in a D&D campaign playing like a very large dragonborn, and we had 2 gnome sorcerers in the party that I joked I could dual wield and use them like wands. Cast spells. Okay. So you are gonna bend down, scroll the rune of alteration, and place her hand on it and see what you can get to happen.
See if I can get something to happen.
Okay, something, anything? Do you
an
have
experiment like this? An experiment like this has been on the bucket list for a while. So, but now is as good a time to try it out.
You're here like she might be dead in 10 minutes. I might as well.
In 10 minutes. Then nobody gets to use it, and so.
Fascinating. Okay. Let me think how I want to resolve this. Okay, to start with, Okris, could you make me a roll to do, and use your hidden eye attribute with this?
I will. My hidden eye is the wounded one.
Smiling eye is wounded.
Oh, never mind. Why did it say that? Oh, because I'm looking at Thessia right now. Okay, I see. You're right. Okay, so let's see. Let's do this. And
hey.
Hi.
So my newest flaw is that if I roll if a natural one occurs while using my powers.
Now that flaw is for when you roll, admittedly.
No, I know, but like I felt it in my bones. I'm like, this is gonna be a 1. I so want to roll this.
I can't believe, just
I
in
can.
general.
I can.
It is not believable. If you give me the script, I'd be like, nah.
That doesn't.
They won't buy this.
That's not how that happens.
Critical Role is scripted.
Yeah, that's too dumb. There's no way.
The writers on Critical Role are really grasping for May sweeps here. Oh boy. What do I want to do with that information?
Boy, you really
so
thought
are we more bomb?
more bomb. We already had one hook with like, oh, I'll just, Weekend at Bernie's her body to cast a spell, and then we have this new left hook of like, well, did it work? Did it do anything?
Hang on, there are several possibilities that occur to me. Give me a second to figure out what is actually the most conducive to like, oh yeah, this'll be good this'll tell a good story. I
mean,
Okay.
creating a new obstacle on top of it. Maybe I don't create the tunnel that I wanted to create, and also I woke up a bunch of things.
Like
That's-
people.
That could be valid. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, first of all, Thessia,
Yup.
could you give me a roll to die and lock in something?
I guess I will do red because it's higher. Also, because my brain is like exploding, I think it makes more sense that I would not be crystal clear.
Yeah. Okay. Going the body route. Okay. So, Thessia, from within the haze that your mind is currently occupying, you get a sudden spark of power that runs through you, and it momentarily to you feels like it clarifies things for you, and your body starts to just kind of act on instinct, and you as if you were swimming instinctually, trying to raise your head above water after falling into it, and you begin clawing your way forward in your mind. Orcris and Wither, what you see, you press her hand down on your makeshift rune here and try and instigate her using her power. And nothing happens for a moment, and then you feel a kind of, you realize you're lowering down slightly, and you look down, and the hard stone beneath you has started to buckle and soften. And then, without warning, Orcris, I imagine you've got like your hand on top of Thessia's hand,
Yeah.
pressing it down on the rune.
Yep.
Her hand just, as if, almost stone swimmer like, sinks into the rock, as if just as easily as into water. And the rock suddenly parts, and Thessia basically lunges forward, like breaststroke style, and the rock ripples, and she is gone.
Huh.
Close that.
Oh my.
You were successful.
It appears so.
The reaction you want when one of your friends tries to is like, oh dude, I think he's wigging out, you gotta do something. Game paused. Shit, he's wigging out, you gotta do something. We'll stick with you two for a second here.
I
Why?
hope she comes back.
Have you put her somewhere safe?
Yes.
You begin to hear, moving stone, moving earth, echoing from down the tunnel ahead of you.
Where's she going?
Girl? Well, Wither thinks that this is what Orcris wanted and is waiting to see what he is doing. Clearly this was his plan, yes?
Of course.
Yes, of course.
We just need to wait a moment.
It's all a part of the process.
Oh, calm yourself.
Orcris is hype as fuck that did anything.
Wither will very gently and very caringly place a single ear against a cave wall next to where Thessia slooped on in and just listen and just see what kind of sensation Gaia is giving out.
Go ahead and give me a roll to do.
Okay. Not the
You
worst.
press yourself down to the now very warped, almost rippled pattern of the stone beneath your feet. It's just starting to harden again, and you kind of feel right around the area where the chalk smudges that used to be a rune are inscribed, and you feel a receding spark of something. It feels like a much less potent, but still similar in character feeling to the sort of tingling you got around the giant crater you were investigating. And that feeling is receding. It's moving away and fast.
Just looks up at Okris.
He's filing his nails. All right. Well, maybe we should scoot on ahead just a bit.
Scoot, scoot, scoot.
All right. The two of you immediately rejiggering some things that I expected. All right, we're gonna delete Thessia from here, the characters folder in the game. All right, the two of you make your way through the tunnel, and as you begin to see just faint flickers of colored light streaming down as you slowly move up and up, you hear a clamor. You hear some cries of surprise and rushing people, and you also hear rushing water. And the two of you
Oh my god.
emerge.
I'm going to jail or dying.
Let's see, we're gonna set this and preload.
Don't worry. I know a great lawyer. It's me.
It's
I'm
me.
the lawyer.
Yeah, I killed him.
Your Honor, I know my client fired that gun because I pulled the trigger, but
Yeah.
But that makes her innocent. And you'll never
Oh.
catch me.
we haven't
Alive.
that.
Shiny.
You start wading through water as it rushes past your feet, and those colored lights become more and more distinct until you kind of splash your way through about ankle deep water out through a fissure just below this sort of causeway running through a almost enchanted looking place. Boy, I don't know what the fuck mood this requires now. Let's go with
Mystery skulking.
I am trying to skulk and sneak.
Okay, give
I
me
don't
just a
want-
second.
Oh,
be
I am walking straight
seen.
through the water. I don't
Don't-
care.
I don't want to be seen like this.
Okay, we're gonna go with you. All right.
Actually, maybe I do want to be seen like this.
All right, so Orcris, splash your way ashore quietly, whether you do it conspicuously.
Plop, plop,
Plop, plop, plop. And you can see the water level, even just as you pass through here, the water level is fluctuating. It's getting higher. And it seems like this riverbed was already here, but you can see that it has been deformed again with that same smoothness that implies shaping rather than natural formation. And as you come ashore here, you hear a lot of murmur and chatter as the well-to-do residents of this district, who were hustling and bustling up and down the street, have mostly stopped, and you see some of them pointing and a lot of just like general confusion. And way up, as you kind of triangulate their gazes, way up. Yeah. Oh, I gotta elevate you. I gotta elevate you in game as well as.
Me having red eyes is good for this.
Yeah.
Jesus!
Oh my god, look at her. And
You
don't
see,
look down.
water is actually gushing out of the side of this cliff, and there's a roughly Thessia-sized hole been left behind that bores directly under the street, and you can see what are essentially footprints and claw marks, like a ditch running up the side of this enormous bejeweled tower, and Thessia is just on top of the metal and ruby dome, about as high as you can go around these parts towards the ceiling of the cavern, and seems to be standing there for the moment inert. She doesn't look like she's moving or looking around or doing much of anything. But she's stood up there and lit up from many sides by the rainbow crystal formations of this cavern. In fact, let me get us off this this map, because I feel like there's something that's a little more illustrative, and I don't think I've gotten to use this one yet.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of new stuff.
So shiny.
Also, game paused.
Yeah, I know.
So many
I was
colors.
because Austin was
On the
walking
move.
around while he was on the move while I was frantically looking for music and not ready to advance the scene. Here we go.
The pause button's so funny because I always envision that picture of like the mom in the airport with two leashed
Yeah.
kids like, going opposite directions. Like, no.
Yeah.
It's the
and-
fucking that one thing in the fucking Alexander song where doot
Yeah.
doot.
Whoa.
Thessia, all the colored lights are slowly starting to break into your perception, where for a while you've really not been seeing anything that your body has actually been doing. You've just been feeling the sensation of moving up and up, but you can see you've reached a height, but not the greatest one you could reach. And without thinking, your body sinks down into the ruby of the tower smoothly and shoots down the side of the tower. And the two of you can see, again, breaststroke like body half out, like half above while clawing and swimming, half below submerged, just rockets up the side of what's known as oh fuck, I need my notes.
The
Oh
spearhead.
no. Yes, Gaia's spearhead. Thank God. I had it. Yes. You should thank God. You should thank God for this lovely spearhead they made.
Every day we thank God.
And in the span of less than 10 seconds, Thessia has surmounted Gaia's spearhead and has almost reached the top of the cavern. Thessia, around this time, you start to come to, as no matter how high you climb, somehow it feels like you're slipping lower. Like you could see all of the world. You could see all of the universe floating out there in eternity among those shattered crystal shards. And slowly, inexorably, gravity is beginning to take hold of you again, and you're being pulled back down into the crude realm of flesh that you were born in. And you look around, and suddenly you are back to yourself, and you are here now.
Am I still like sinking halfway through the stone, or?
When you look around, you are standing with one foot, but you feel like unbalanced, and you look down and you can see your other foot is still like half submerged in this obsidian, and you kind of reflexively like, nah, and yank it out, and then ting ting. Like, okay, this is solid. So you are now standing normally.
Is the spearhead damaged in any way? Because this is the holy relic, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you can see kind of like a little trench where the stone is kind of rippled. It hasn't been set back exactly where it was. So there's a trail, if you want to call that damage, is kind of that's an interpretation.
Oh. I think as she's like still coming to, she's looking around and just in her head, fuck. It's like, how did I get here? I had my brain spasm. Oh God. Just, yeah, and I'm at the highest point, so everyone's looking. Great.
Chris and Wither, you can see there's a lot of people. There's not like an angry crowd or anything. There's mostly just people are kind of sticking their heads out of windows and being like, "What's going on?" And there's people like pointing and oohing and awing, and it's your standard like comic book crowd of like, "Oh, are they filming a movie?" Kind of, not obviously not that idiom, but that's the energy. And more people are sort of starting to congregate in this area and try and retrace what they just saw. Not everyone has clocked the top of the spearhead yet. It was so fast that someone who didn't have their eye on Thessia carefully might not have noticed it. But undoubtedly, people are going to notice her momentarily.
Lovely. While everyone is looking up, I would like to climb up and just sort of schmooze my way into the crowd. Hopefully unnoticed.
Okay. Now, let's see. So schmooze your way. Do you mean just like kind of physically sneaking, or are you actually? Okay.
Yeah,
Gonna
basically
blend in.
climbing up out of the pit that we came up from, and just sort of easing my way into the crowd, like Assassin's Creed style.
Assassin's Creed style, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay. Let me give you. Let's see. You know what? Sure. I don't know how often we'll be actually sneaking, so we'll try this. Yeah, so Austin, Austin, the character played by Orcris.
Hello.
Hello, it's me. Orcris, go ahead and give me a roll to do. And Wither, what are you doing as Orcris kind of wanders off in that direction?
We will watch him go for a moment, and they'll follow him, actually. Just melting in amongst the crowd, not in the intention to disappear amongst them, just in the way that you naturally do when you're trying to go in through a crowd.
Well, fortunately, anyone who happens to... Most people aren't paying much attention to either of you, but those who do are much more likely to pay attention to you, Wither, given who you are and what you are. And so you actually indirectly do assist Orcris here because people are even less likely to pay him mind. So Orcris, yeah, you both make your way up onto the causeway and a little closer to the base of the spearhead. And yeah, no one's really paying you any mind. What would you like to do from this position?
Oh my gosh, what's she doing up there? What is this? Who is that? I was just here eating a sandwich. And then I saw this? What?
What are you
I didn't expect this.
Who are you talking about?
Up
yeah,
there.
More people will look.
Squints. Yeah, no, people start squinting and a few points. Yeah, no, you have successly started to draw people's attention to her.
Oh, they were going to see it anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. But it's gonna happen faster now.
God.
Thessia, do you have anything you want to do, seeing a long, long way down from you, the tiny people beginning to amass and wander about, but definitely beginning to amass in a more you direction?
Dude, I don't know. I was still like processing like, all right, I'm having brain trauma. Oh man. So how close to the ceiling am I?
You're probably at the highest point of the spearhead is probably still a good, like, 50 feet below the top of the cavern.
That makes sense. Boy, howdy. I guess, I mean, part of me just wants to, like, look around because this is a pretty rare perspective to have. I guess I'll also just, like, examine this structure in general just because it's been a holy artifact and, like, I can't turn my brain off fully. I'm, like, a little curious, like, is this also naturally developed or anything like that? I don't know. I'm honestly trying to buy some time to think about what I can actually do here.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you really need to roll for that. It's pretty easy to see that, at least until what you just did, this appears to be a natural formation, or at least certainly not shaped. It's too jagged, too irregular, and probably too large, to be honest. To have gotten it to this height would have been a massive coordinated effort and would have taken a long time. And you've certainly never heard any anecdotes at the guild about this having been involved, about shapers having worked on this. So probably, yeah, no, this is all natural.
Okay. Thessia is, I think she's just gonna, because part of my brain is like, well, I should try to fix what I did, but she's like, no, because if it goes wrong, I might just blow up this thing. I think she's going to take a very deep breath and just descend as carefully as possible, trying to avoid damaging it in any way, shape, or form, or any more so than she's done. And yeah.
Go ahead.
And kind of trying to spot Wither and make her way towards them, because her brain space is like, if I'm with them, maybe I could come up with some bullshit and be like, oh, it was a holy thing. I don't know, just anything.
Very convenient that you go to that mindset, because in the loudest voice they can muster, which is not very loud, Wither cranes their neck out towards the air of the crowd.
Hark, people. Would any amongst thee have the courage and the kindness to assist this person in their descent. A helping hand, lest they fall.
I suppose I can.
The,
My name is Alchris. I say, doing a little bit of a little bit of a flourish, and I will shake your hand, and with a brief like little wink, I say, I will. I would be happy to do this for you. Honored
Wait,
twice more.
there's someone there. Someone points. You can see the two of you, Orcris, as you kind of turn around and get ready to, I guess someone's got to do it. You notice, actually, someone from the crowd at some point has started their way up. Not very fast, but kind of
I'll
pitched.
go up there to help him. I have to go to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. Let's see here.
Pitched down, kind of diagonally, and climbing with slightly clawed hands to try and keep their footing. They're slowly making their way up. It's going to take a while for them to reach. So Thessia, you can probably see this, so you can go ahead with climbing down if you want, or you can wait, and also you can, if you're gonna climb down, you can either go down the slope the normal way, in which case you will meet this person on the way down, or you given your four-armed gift, you can also just like shimmy down the sheer side that wouldn't be possible for most people.
I think Thessia is going to begin her descent down the slope towards them, just because she's like, oh my god, they can't climb like me. I need to be ready to help them. And she's gonna call out, I'm fine now. I was I guess, like for a better term, inspired. I don't know. I haven't felt that kind of connection to. I guess it must have been Gaia before. I don't know.
Pretty much as soon as you call out to the person, they freeze and look up and meet your gaze for just a second and stop and look like, have a kind of deer in the headlights look for a moment, and then they slowly nod and begin reversing down.
Yeah, just be safe. God damn it. Just like slowly making her way down.
As soon as this person gets to the base, they bolt away into the crowd.
Thessia, like, fully comes down and looks to, like, gives friendly waves, just like, hi. Turns over to Wither. Do you know what the hell just happened?
No. And yes.
Okay. Can you enlighten the yes part? Whatever you have? I'll take anything right now.
You should take a moment to breathe, to contemplate, absorb the experience of what has happened. Do not think of excuses. Think of the truth.
She takes a deep breath and kind of processes that information. For her, the truth is she got greedy with the rune again, and she woke up in a precarious situation. But more importantly than that, especially based on the fact that she got to where she is and she saw the, like, effect that she had on the stone, going, it is replicable. It can be done again. We just need to lock down a way to control the brain explosion part, because that's not ideal.
The crowd kind of begins pressing in around you a little, and at least a few people seem to have worked up the courage to actually address you instead of just kind of standing and like gossiping off to the side. And probably about 18 to 20-year-old girl comes up. Is this some kind of ceremony? What's going on?
It could be considered as such.
Yeah, I suppose so.
A divine initiation beset upon this person has just concluded.
Oh, it's you. What are you doing here?
Hi. Well, as Wither, my twice-born friend, had mentioned, like, really making clear to the audience here, like, I'm with a twice-born, this divine thing. I felt a push, I suppose, to, I guess, test the limits of the Thale rune. And in that excitement, she looks back at the top of the massive spear, was more exhilarating than I anticipated. A lot more incredible.
What is going on here? A man whose whole body is like a ruby-encrusted geode who walks on a set of 4 skittering legs approaches down the street, and you can tell from his well-appointed attire and the robed figures behind him, this is probably a local religious authority. There's been no authorization of any kind to he can barely get words out as he looks from you back to the spearhead over and over, and just like points like at the kind of the place where your body started to sweep through it.
Yeah, she...
Okay, sorry.
No worries.
Okay, are you okay?
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Okay.
She puts all 4 hands up. I apologize. As I was just explaining to the nearby very curious individuals, I felt a sort of push, I suppose. I'm not normally the most religious type of person, but I must acknowledge that maybe Gaia guided my hand a bit to test my limits with the Thale rune.
Well, you do not appear to be twice-born, so Gaia does not deign to push you to this extent.
Right. You are correct in that regard. 2 hands point over at Wither.
Eyes kind of slide across to you, and he immediately, like... His demeanor retreats a little, but not that much. He opens and closes his mouth a few times, and then centers himself and draws himself back up. May I ask your name? Directed at you, Wither.
We have been called Wither.
I see. Wither, you are twice born. Are you guiding this individual to some purpose?
We have been instructed to observe this individual and not, what is the word? Explicitly, we believe, not guide them, merely observe. And on this day we have observed their
Observed
ascent.
quite a bit, I suppose. Looks back to you, Thessia. It does not appear that you were put up to this by Gaia's servant. What
My
have you have to say to
friend.
yourself?
My friend, Please, calm yourself. Everybody is safe. Everybody is unharmed. All will be well.
Unharmed! Points again to the...
It looks much the same as it did this morning. And last morning. And every morning since its erection.
He looks like he wants to say something. He's clearly still tripping a little bit over the fact that Wither is here and he can't just entirely go off. Nevertheless, he looks back to you, Wither. I need to know then, whether, regardless of what you were previously instructed or inspired to do, I need to know whether you intend to take accountability for this individual's defacement of the spearhead.
Wither is looking at this man and getting the vibe from him, unfittingly to anybody who knows anything. But they look at this man who is maybe reasonably lashing out, and also, you know, extending his ability to lash out at people. And for some reason, they're reminded of the little vines that tried to have Thessia and her mother for dinner. And they will quietly reach out their hands in a very gentle, almost parental sort of reach, and quietly go up to this man and reach out for 2 hands on the side of his face.
Peace and silence. Peace and silence. For but a moment. Consider. Take stillness in your mind and consider.
They're going to wait for him to calm down.
Okay.
This, I believe, would probably be twice-born privilege.
Yes, that sounds exactly like what's going on here. So, when you push the limits of this hospitality, you can add 2d6 on any related roll to do, provided you explain to those affected how your actions are a necessary part of your divine mission. So if you do that much, then when you roll to do to try and diplomatize this man, you'll get a nice fat bonus.
Okay. I will do wild for now. There you go. Very nice.
Okay, let me roll up a little difficulty check for you. All right.
Wait, why did you roll as me again?
Oh, sorry, I just had you
This is-
selected.
yeah.
Fighting myself.
My hand, it's moving on its own. Yeah, the man, he does as you suggest. He stops and contemplates for a moment. His body sags a little bit as some of the tension in it drains out. I beg your forgiveness for my brusque demeanor, O Twiceborn. May I ask that you enlighten me the purpose of this observation, and indeed the purpose of allowing this woman the free rein to do something such as this?
We have been, what is the word? Instructed, advised, we do not know. A person of great import has asked that we observe this woman and her abilities that seem at large not of her own control or volition. We posit that she does not act on her own, and acts much as we do. A pull, a push, a guiding force from Gaia.
Wither gently turns and points at Thessia.
Behold, if you will, the chisel of Gaia.
Nods.
His eyes widen for a moment. And there's another wave of murder. Murders!
Isn't that a 7th level spell?
Here
Oh,
I go.
Chris just decides to start stabbing people in the crowd.
I'm bored now.
Wave of murder.
A wave of murmurs, excuse me, runs through the crowd when you proclaim Thessia as such, and the man was definitely, you can sense this intent from him, was definitely winding up to ask, and who is this important person who put you up to this? He doesn't even get that far, because when you utter those words, it's almost as if you've cast a spell on him and the others around, and he looks out to the crowd, and the murmurs kind of die down into hushed whispers, and he takes a step back from you, and sweeps a hand across his body. I see. Well, of course I shall have to consult with my peers about this matter, but it seems that I acted rashly just now. He puts the hand.
Forgiven.
Yeah, he gives you a bow. He does not give you a bow, Thessia, but he gives you a curt little nod, and then turns to the crowd. You have all borne witness. Should we require your witness, then we shall speak with you in time. For now, go about your business. He backs up in the crowd. There's a few snickers from the crowd. This is not a part of the city where religious officials get to bark orders at crowds for the most part, because this is heavily peopled by rich and important folk who can actually afford to live in this gleaming paradise. So he in a bit of face saving, he doesn't bother to issue any more instructions. He just kind of gives a quiet little huff and maneuvers his body around and begins to return down the path towards the temple that he had burst out of earlier. And the crowd begins murmuring again once he's out of earshot, but looks like aren't in a mood to come up and immediately harass any of you with questions. There's a lot of oh, that's the chisel of God. I noticed this.
I think Thessia just gives very friendly waves and as big of a smile as she can to be like, yep, we gotta just play the crowd a little bit. Yes?
The girls who were talking to you earlier. Huh. Cool. This one just kind of wanders off, and the other one looks over to you momentarily, Orcris. All right, well, see you tomorrow, I guess.
Yes.
Lovely seeing you again. That's teenagers for you. Okay. Just waves.
Have you calmed your spirit?
Yes, I think the spirit has leveled out, but the heart rate is still quite accelerated.
I think it would be best if we just got you back home from here.
I would like that very much. Yes, thank you.
It's been a bit of a day.
Right. Before I had my let's maybe not be here, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to just make for the Betalis Estatalis?
Yeah.
Yep.
Bring my two cool friends.
Do not call us that.
They both smoke weed.
Are we not friends? No, we're not cool.
Okay, yeah, you start, you head up from the geode, and before too long, you break onto the surface, and you continue further upward. And while you're still within spitting distance of the lower reaches of Scon, let's see, let me just go ahead and, where are we? Here we go. Set view position.
Well, I'm certain this wasn't the way you thought this would start.
Nope. God, that was funny.
Why'd you have to turn her into rock soup, Austin?
I had to know I had to know whether or not that was something I could do.
And now that we know.
And now that we know.
Oh,
Meanwhile, Thessia doesn't have that knowledge. She's just like, oh my god, how? Because
How did
last
this
time,
happen?
yeah, because last time I made the huge hole, and then this time I somehow threw myself at the top of the
Teleported.
geode.
Yeah.
As you are making your way closer to the area of the city where Thessia lives, could you please, all of you, go ahead and roll to die for me?
Ooh.
Wow, actually, I'm gonna lock in Blue. Actually, I think she's like calming down, but now her brain is like,
Oh, damn it! I'm still Thessia. It keeps automatically making me Thessia.
That's weird. Did you log in as Thessia?
No. Oh wow! Awesome.
oh hell yeah, brother.
Whoa.
And also keep in mind, if you don't want to lock something in, you don't have to.
Oh okay. You know what? I'm gonna not do that because that just
You'd rather roll a 1d6 than have a 1.
yeah. How do I unlock?
If you click on that nice little arrow thing.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, boom,
Locked
bada
out.
bing.
Normal. Got it.
Okay. So as you're making your way through the city, let's see, what did we roll here? We got Thessia has an 8. Wither, or no,
that's
Wither has an
weird.
8. Thessia has rolled to die. Oh, maybe that second time was Orcris accidentally rolling to die for you. I think the 12 was what you
Yeah, the
actually
12 should be
rolled.
me because I had red
Okay.
locked in at a 6. So
Okay. Yeah. As you're, it's a minor thing, but as you're on your way back to the estate, Thessia, you could swear for a split second as you're passing and trying to mostly keep a low profile, picking your way through crowds and such. You could swear briefly. You get a glimpse of the same individual who was on their way up the side of the spearhead toward you before turning around. And then crowd kind of parts, crowd redraws itself, and you don't see them again.
I think Thessia's going to do her best to not draw attention and kind of like lean over. There was an individual that tried to climb the geode to me, the spearhead. I think they're following us. I have an idea. You mind if we take a sharp turn here?
By all means.
I'd like to try and not down an alley because that's suspicious, but down a path that would be a hard turn that would like force this person to come around it as well. Looking up, does it look like there's a little balcony or something that I could quickly climb to? That way, as Wither and Orcris continue onwards, I can hang back up top, wait for this dude, and then I can like try to drop down and just have a conversation like, hey, I know what you're doing.
You ain't slick. Yeah, well, you can certainly find such a place to try and execute that plan. It'll be a matter of whether you can sneakery deakery well enough to get them to fall for it. So for that, I think I'll ask for a roll to do.
Yeah, okay. Come on. Okay.
And this is going to be opposed by... this is an actual straight up roll against roll here, which I'm gonna do anonymously to preserve mystery and such. Okay.
Oh my god.
So yeah, you claw your way up to the underside of a balcony and let Wither and Orcris take the turn and pass through, and you wait a little while for the person you were expecting, and you hear footsteps approaching, and they come around, and it's two completely different dudes who stop at the end of the alley and kind of exchange glances, and then do, for what it's worth, continue after Orcris and Wither in the same direction anyway.
Oh, interesting.
Cool. I'm gonna beat the shit out of them. Who said you?
You actually?
Legit?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
I was gonna say, I was like, there was so much confidence behind it. Yeah, so that those two people continue to follow after them.
For a little ways. They stop at a certain point. So they never approach them. And let's see, based on your roll, yeah, I think based on your roll, I don't think you have a clear sense of whether they are significant and actually following, or if that was just your paranoia due to thinking you were already being followed by someone else.
Yeah. From this position, am I able to kind of spot that guy again? Or is it seem like that dude just like completely disappeared into the crowd?
You can wait, but from where you currently are, you can look around and be confident that you can't see them from your current position.
Thessia will climb higher and just try to stay low. And kind of survey from there to see if by chance this fellow did actually continue or was like, no, I'm gonna bounce.
Okay. Yeah, give me another roll to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll... Yeah, blue is fine for this.
A real number.
Numbers.
Thessia, you climb up, you look around, and you scan and kind of like, nuts. Because you look and you're confident that you don't see them around anywhere. So maybe they stopped following you. Maybe they were wise to the fact that you were wise and broke off. Or maybe they were so slippery they managed to conceal themselves from you. You're not sure. But as you come back down, thinking like, rats, I guess I won't know. You get a very lucky, very perceptive spot as you continue with Orcris and Wither just a little further. You pass by a space between two buildings and you stop dead and look, and you can see a sort of faded bluish cloak on the ground, and you are 100% certain it looks identical to what the person was wearing. Appears to have been discarded here.
I'll pick it up and study it. Does it? I imagine no. But does it have any notable features about it, or any other details in the immediate area that could like? Yeah.
I take it and I smell it. I smell the hood of it.
That one I'm gonna assume you mean for real, because that
Yes.
seems like a thing you would do.
Yeah.
Thessia, visually, no, not really. This, if anything, you would say this is like a dime a dozen kind of thing. And really, if you were being 100% logical, you could, in court, you would probably say like, yeah, well, lots of people have cloaks like this. It might not be the same one, but like your gut instinct is no, this absolutely is the exact one this person was wearing.
Yeah.
But that being said, it is nondescript and very common. It's a sort of It's not really.
It's a
high,
fucking North Face jacket, dude.
Yeah, it's not high intrinsic value in terms of expense. It's a sort of cloak that you could almost say would do very well at being specifically nondescript and able to reasonably blend in higher or lower echelons of society.
Got it.
And Orcris, yeah, you give a sniff.
Give it the old
are-
college sniff.
Are you sniffing for anything in particular?
Just trying to either getting a sense of how like dirty the person might be, or otherwise trying to get a sense that I could recall if I ever ran into this person again.
Okay, I need to think for a second.
Yeah, you got to think about what kind of shampoo that guy uses.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the Bronze Age. We don't use shampoo.
Uses rocks.
Uses L'Oreal, but it's got ore in the middle.
L'Oreal.
L'Oreal.
Very cute.
Isn't that already how L'Oreal is styled? Isn't it?
little bit.
Probably.
Apostrophe?
Probably. I don't know.
Is that joke valid? We need to get to the bottom.
Is that
of
joke
this right
lore
now.
compliant?
Is this L'Oreal lore compliant?
Yeah. So, Orcris, you examine and you sniff. There's very little odor about this, from which you can reasonably conclude the person who was wearing it was pretty clean. And you might even say, even for a clean person, there's relatively little odor, which could mean a number of things. Often that's more the case for someone whose body is more heavily mineral. They just don't have the same number of pores to sweat out of, and nor as much a need for it. So it may be that. It may be that it wasn't worn for very long. You do notice one thing, however, as you turn it over and get right up to it. It was almost the trace is barely visible. It's almost impossible to spot with the eye, but when you smell around, you kind of realize like, oh, there's actually something else here. You get your nose twitches a little. There is a very, very faint dusting of chalk up against a small patch towards sort of the center back of the cloak.
Oh, shit. The chalk you left behind, dude.
I didn't leave behind my chalk.
No, but there was a mark.
There was a mark. So that means that they were following us earlier.
So that's probably the person who overheard us.
And that's at the lower center?
It is, yeah, it's at the part of the cloak that, depending on how you were wearing it, if you were just wearing it completely normal, it would probably be like the lower back area. If you were sweeping it around you, as is a style many people do, then it would probably be sort of like mid-torso or lower torso.
Okay.
It's not apparent, if it was your chalk that it was brushed up against, it's not immediately obvious why either of those spots on a body would have touched the chalk.
Yeah.
Presumably, if you were going to inspect it, you'd do it with your hands.
Yeah. Not with the back of your butt.
Oh, when I see a good chalk spot, I just gotta rub myself up.
Rub my butt. Let's see here. So, is there any indication of where? Like how worn is this cloak? Is it fully has it been worked in? Has it been washed ever?
It's seen what you'd probably call light use. It's got a little bit of dust on it, a little bit of grime, but it looks to have been taken reasonably good care of, and it hasn't been worn a lot over its lifetime, probably.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Can I keep this?
I certainly don't want it.
Very
Gosh,
well.
just pinches the bridge of her nose. Just what I needed. More problems.
Well,
Mayhaps the same problem.
That's fair.
if this belongs to anyone, I'll find out who. Or if this belongs to whomever you believe was chasing us, we'll find.
Yeah. I think for now, I mean, where I live isn't exactly a mystery, so we might as well head back to the estate and discuss. And I think Thessia, she's still like keeping an eye on the crowd, but is kind of assuming that whoever this was is already long gone and probably just giving a report right now like, holy shit, chief.
This bitch is crazy. All right. Well, nothing else of event, of moment happens in the remaining trek home. And before long, the familiar, old, grandiose, but slightly worn jade walls of your estate are in view. And you pass through the gate and make your way toward the main villa. And Thessia, it's getting to be, I feel like a broken record, but it comes in degrees. It is yet one more half degree kind of like melancholy here as you return. It seems
God.
like there is some of the hustle and bustle has been taken out of it. And indeed, as you pass toward the main estate, you're pretty confident it's not your imagination. It seems like the staff may have been downsized a little.
The afternoon I was gone.
Let's see. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna preload the scene. And we're gonna put you in. Hope that loads nice and quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The as you make your way up toward the main estate, the guard here gives his normal hail. Doesn't even question the presence of the other two since they're with you. But as you approach the stairs, he stops and gives a little. Oh, Master Thessia, we heard things.
Can you be a little more descriptive?
We heard about your situation, and we're not, someone in my position's not really supposed to talk about it with you, but
You have my
uh,
permission. I mean, if you've got an opinion, I'm not gonna...
no. It's not. I just wanted to let you know that word is around.
Yeah.
And you're. I don't think Master Arati would want me to say that she was in a state, but it would not surprise me if she were in a state after, well, yeah, the whole week.
Well, of course she's in an estate. Points at the building.
I'm sorry?
It's an estate in a...
It's more of a city-state.
Yeah. In any case.
Yes, very droll.
Yeah.
Yes, die.
Wow, that, well, I'll be honest about this part. That sucked.
So, yeah, that's just, we're here for you if you need anything, Master Thessia. There's anything we can do.
You already do enough. Trust me. And I appreciate the heads up.
Would you like me to announce your guests?
Oh, looks back. Do you want to be announced? Would that interest you?
That would be splendid.
We do not understand.
Okay, well, you can announce... Sure. Orcris and Wither.
Orcris and Wither. Very good.
Mm-hmm. Looks back at Orcris. Are you excited for this? This seems right up your alley.
Oh, of course. I haven't been here since I saved your life that last time.
You did do that.
He opens the doors. Yeah.
They're just like, oh, sand.
He opens the doors and stands immediately to the side. Master Thessia and her guests, Orcris and Wither.
Thank you so much.
You step in, and now you can see there's a couple people down here. Simony is working on dusting and polishing, as she usually does by default if you're not in the house to be waited on.
Mm-hmm.
And your mother is speaking to some probably well-to-do person here, not someone you're familiar with. They're engrossed looking at this tapestry on the wall until the announcement goes out, and they turn, and Arati just gives you the sort of polite nod that she would as if it were a completely normal day and you were coming home for a completely normal evening, and turns, my daughter Thessia. Oh yeah. Really quite a fascinating piece. Yes, isn't it? Excuse me a moment.
Thessia gives a very polite bow. Mother?
Thessia? You'll have to forgive me. I will, perhaps you can think on it and let me know? Oh, yes, of course. Yes, I should be going anyway. Master Arati and, Thessia and Orcris and Wither looking for a kind of general thumbs up, thumbs down reaction. No, it doesn't
Who
matter.
are you?
I'm just, well, he is a guest. He is a guest of mine. We were just discussing some of the priceless heirlooms that our estate plays host to. Please don't trouble yourself on our account. Right. Yeah. Clearly a little weirded out by Wither, just gonna move on. Try and blow past that interaction. And the guard gives a nod and steps out and shuts the door behind him. And Thessia, Arati kind of makes eye contact with you, and then at these two, and you know from years of having exchanged these sorts of looks, she gives you the silent, questioning look of, are these two okay for us to discuss family business in front of?
Thessia gives a polite nod, and she'll kind of step up a little closer. I don't know if you recall, Orcris, the gentleman on the left, he is the reason that I'm even conscious.
I do recall.
Yes.
Yes.
And Wither is a twiceborn who has been accompanying me during the, I guess, investigation, as it were, and they have been instrumental in assisting me.
She gets a pained look on her face when you say that word. Yes, we'll speak about that when it's a better time. I'm still... My mind is still a bit reeling, you understand? I was just taking the opportunity to show a few of our tapestries around to see if there are any interested buyers.
Thessia kind of nods. Always proactive. I do hope you at least got some rest, though.
I got as much as I can tolerate.
You are more asleep now than you were when we saw you.
speaking to her mother.
Yes.
She her top two eyes narrow slightly as she gives you a quizzical look. When have we met?
We did not.
I see. Is this perhaps related to your gift?
No.
She waits a moment to see if any further explanation is forthcoming. Is it?
Wither seems more distracted by what their own comment was, and less about this woman's question for them.
I see. Yeah, then after a second, she's just like, all right, well, it's not my place to question that shit. Yeah, she moves between the two of you momentarily to give you a polite little bow, Orcris.
I take a polite big bow, my lady.
I understand that you were responsible for my daughter's recovery the other day. I'm in your debt.
I only did what I could, and thankfully it has proven to be sufficient enough to get her back on her feet.
It was a great deal, and I certainly hope, given ongoing events, that we shall not waste your effort.
I would also not see my efforts wasted, my lady. I'm going to do everything in my power to continue to assist Thessia through this horrible time.
I would offer both of you your own attendance while you were here. I'm afraid I'm unable to at the moment. But if you stick with Thessia, I'm sure the servants will give you anything you could require, and you are, of course, welcome to stay here as guests at your leisure. And now, if you'll excuse me... She leans heavily on this chair for a moment.
My lady, you look... Are you feeling all right? I mean, given the circumstances, it would be no small thing if you found yourself exhausted or
Haggard.
I don't like that one. It's got the word hag in it.
Mhm.
Fair enough. I meant no offense, Mother.
Please, please, Thessia, you should speak with more respect towards your mother. She's a beautiful woman.
Uh-huh. No, I couldn't agree more. Kind of like eyeing you, like, what are you up to?
In any case, if you find yourself lacking energy under the great weight of the stress that this situation has undoubtedly brought, I would be happy to conjure up a specialized health tincture that I learned about once in Greece.
Sounds fake. No,
No,
yeah.
it's spelled Griss.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Ah, yes. The city, the home of the Grecians.
It's right near Athens.
We just call them.
It's right next door to Sparta.
Sparta. A lot of snakes.
We just call them the Greasy.
No.
Oh. Well done, sir. Well done running with that and running it straight into the ground. Yeah, she gives you another respectful little nod. I will keep that offer in mind. It's very generous of you. Now, Thessia, have you eaten? Are you well?
You probably ought to.
I could eat something small. I do not want a grand feast or anything of the sort. A snack more than anything.
Well, my meager skills in the kitchen should be more than enough.
Thessia, like, visibly deflates. Oh, God. Puts, like, all four hands on the back of the chair.
Ugh. Ugh.
You hear a little bell jingle from somewhere upstairs, and you see Simony stops polishing and goes upstairs.
I hate this.
Thessia looks over.
I feel bad for you.
Yeah. Thank you. It's been kind of, lack for a better term, it's been a spiral for a while, but I won't lie. The last like 2 weeks have been notably dreadful.
A spiral? Did someone say a spiral? Snake
No.
burst through the door.
I will find a way to help you. Out of this entire situation. The tribunal, all of it.
Thessia, like, slowly turns her head. I mean this as politely as possible. Why do you care so much? Our first interaction was me seizing out in my bed.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Oh, a little crush, maybe?
Maybe.
That's interesting. Okay, well...
He says maybe, and then just sort of looks wistfully at the door to the kitchen.
Don't you fuck my mom. Don't you dare. Unless it helps with my bullshit. Thessia, like, thanks. I don't really know what to do next. Because the situation continues to get worse and worse. Anytime I have attempted and made any amount of progress, it falls back even further.
Yes. I've got a few ideas. Things best done. Things best done with a degree of distance between us. Lest if things go bad, you might find yourself implicated or allied with me.
And what does that mean precisely?
I plan on doing crimes.
Ah, okay. Well, I do appreciate how forward you are with these. Okay.
At this point, we're in it together. You really have no choice but to accept my help. I'm the only person offering it.
My concern is how much further my debt would go.
Did you see how many rerolls I did last session,
You've
bro?
any-
I can't afford it.
Yeah, Thessia kind of like lowers her head. I am, maybe not me specifically, but the Betalist family is in a lot of people's pockets at this point because we can't get our footing. And while I appreciate the help, I don't think I can reimburse you.
There is no need. I think we're friends.
You think?
I think so.
Okay.
And as such, I will ask nothing of you. Aside from your continued friendship and the occasional hand when I find that I need one.
I think I could spare one or two.
You seem like you would be well suited to burying bodies.
I guess very technically, yes.
That's a joke. I'm not a murderer.
Of course. I'm just merely telling you my skill set.
The doors over here open quickly but near silently, and someone walks in also quickly but near silently. Ends up like face to face with you immediately, Wither, as they shut the doors and they turn around and you're right there. And they, oh god, oh, Thessia, you're back.
No, we
Hello.
are called Wither.
Oh, that I was looking past you actually, but Wither was it?
Yes.
They give you the sort of like no personal space, quizzical stare that you usually give other people for a moment. Interesting. They hurry around the table.
Excuse me? Hello.
They just walk up and hug you
Oh.
immediately and very tightly.
Her upper arms like kind of go up from surprise, but the lower ones instinctually wrap around them. Hi.
I barely got to speak since you got out of bed, and now all of this.
Oh yes, it's been one thing after another. How are you?
They stop and think and consider the question for a moment. I'm better off than you right now, I would wager.
I hope so. It'd be dreadful if you were worse.
Give a little chuckle. I'm fine. Are you going to be okay?
I have some stupendous help. I have a few leads. Progress is being made, albeit a little slower than I would have hoped, with a couple of setbacks, I'll just be honest, but you needn't fret. She puts her hands on their shoulder. This will be fine. We've been through some horrendous times, and we've clawed our way through time and time again. This is no different. It's just a little... The hole's a bit deeper this time is all.
Yes. Well, in many senses.
Yep. Yes, there was that one as well. I want to get in front of this because I know you are so sweet and you are so caring. Leave it to me. I don't want you to... You've already made some pretty darn good progress in becoming a scrivener, and I don't want what's happening to me to impact that future.
Oh, you're both dyed blue. Thessia, could you roll to do real quick?
You...
Clash.
Because I'm in brain mode, no emotion. Damn you, sibling! Even when I roll high!
But you still got more.
I did get more.
There is a cavalcade of emotions that Xenion has an extremely impassive face. Probably the most impassive you've seen until you met Wither. And so you can read them better than most people, which is to say that you can read them at all. But they have feelings about several of the things you just said, but they flash across their face so faintly and so quickly that you're not sure what they were or what each was a reaction to of the things you just said. They end on a very faint smile and kind of swallow and think. All right, sister, if you say so. I'll leave it to you. I'm sure you know best.
Let me make this abundantly clear. This is never questioning your intellect or your heart or anything of the sort. I'm just deep in the mud, and I don't want you to get dragged in. You deserve a bright future because you have worked so hard.
If you're in the mud, then there's nowhere I want to be other than in the mud.
I am going to use Scion of Betalis. I'm going to increase my debt by 1.
Yeah?
And
Do what?
have an important person hear you out. Explain why they owe your family a favor. Thessia, It's not even. I guess it is kind of a favor for them to turn it down, and it literally is. It's like Thessia has done a lot to ensure that as much as bullshit happens in this house does not affect Xenion. She has, well, even for the very simple thing of like, I want you to celebrate with a actual like jade, a real one, and instead of sacrificing something that was important to their father and things like that, she was like, no, I will take on more burdens just so that they can get a little reward, if that's what it takes. And so Thessia is very much in the like, I wouldn't say martyr, but her brain space is like, if one of us can get out of this, it should be you.
Okay. Well, okay, so increasing your debt by 1, have an important person hear you out. So, yes, they don't say anything, but it seems like they had more to say. You said that, and then they thought better of it and give a nod, and you are confident they have indeed heard you out. They're not going to go off the reservation and do something you wouldn't want them to do. And I think even though you did increase your debt by 1 to do that, I think given that you have shut down the possibility of them doing something to try and directly assist you in this endeavor, I think that qualifies as giving up something of personal value for the good of your family. So you can also increase your sacrifice by 2.
Is this, let's see here, whenever you give up something personal value.
The personal value is your another opportunity to try and secure your personal safety is what you have given up by ensuring Xenion will not do something to try and affect that situation.
Okay, so is it a 1 or 2?
Oh, that's a 2.
That's a 2. All right. Hell yeah, progress. She once again puts on as big a smile as she can get. Let me actually switch to her smile. It's going to be fine. Like I said, I have lovely assistants, and I want you. You know what you can do for me? You can.
Anything.
Okay.
Well, all right. I'm sorry. It's
No.
on the spirit of what you just told me.
Again,
so, some things. I'll do some things for you. What do you want?
2 hands on their shoulder, and then 2 hands like very gently resting on their face, or like on the cheeks. I just want you to focus on your studies. And whatever you need, you let me know. I've still got 2 days, so if there's any time I can make for you, I will.
I understand. I can do that for you.
Marvelous.
Well, shit, they just changed to blue again. Roll to do.
Yeah.
Let's see. Does that have? Did that roll correctly? Did that apply? I'm gonna assume it did. Yeah, they have heard you out on what you asked of them, and you asked them to focus on their studies in return, and like, yeah, I'll do that for you. They will not, and they feel guilty and conflicted about something that they don't want to burden you with. You realize in this moment.
I don't want that. Is there anything I can do to like convince them to be like, hey, if you want to open up, like I said, I'm here.
I mean, you can say words to them.
Oh, fair enough.
At the moment, they're not going to, based on where the conversation has gone to this point. But yeah, I mean, they're still right here.
Hey, I didn't mean to shut you down that bad. That wasn't my intention. If you have something on your mind, I'd like to hear it.
I know what you just asked of me, but if you'd rather I didn't do anything crazy or go out of my way to try and help you, I still don't want to make anything worse for you right now. So, I will talk about it with you after you win your freedom and your safety, okay?
Is this time sensitive? I don't want you to delay it.
A few days isn't going to matter.
All right.
Trust me.
I do. And so I will.
Now that I think of it, looks past you to Orcris. I know we didn't speak much when you were here the other day because things were going on. Are you a scholar of some stripe?
Of some stripe. I'm fairly learned on a number of topics.
And are you a scrivener?
I am not a scrivener.
They nod. I may still want to... We should speak at length at some point about those topics. I am interested to know what sort of background prepares a man to do what you did.
I sincerely doubt anyone in the world has a background like mine.
They look quite interested at that. Is that so?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
Don't mind me just making shit up.
And your other...
Oh, yeah. Where did they... Oh, there they are. That's, Wither. A twiceborn that's been helping me. Quite a bit, actually.
Oh, do you like it? It combines the runes of alteration and incandescence. A permanent, stable lava flow to generate heat.
It is life contained.
Well, life actually has its own rune, but you meant metaphorically, of course.
Do you like it?
I suppose I don't really notice it anymore because it's been here the whole time I have, but yes, I suppose I'd say that I do.
Contemplate that. Apply it to more.
Think about things that I like.
Things you have forgotten that you like.
Ah. Wisdom such as I would expect. Xenion's just going to sit and chill with you for as long as you stay over there.
Hell yeah!
Well, I wonder if your mother needs help in the kitchen. Perhaps I should go assist.
Certainly, if you'd like. I apologize that I won't assist. I think I just need to sit down for a moment.
Of course, of course.
Master Orcris. Would you take this one to the table for me, please? She hands you a, you'd probably call it like a charcuterie board. It's not a full meal, but it's,
Sure.
it's stuff to snack on. And she's got another one in her hand that has a few meats and cheeses, but is mostly laden down with gemstones.
At once.
Walking on the table.
Is that on the table? I thought these were like carpets.
Those are carpets. The outermost thing is a carpet.
Well, I think you're reading this as a big glass table, which I was too. It's not.
No, I know that the dark green is the carpet, but like this portion.
No, it's a bunch of carpets.
Oh, is
think
it
it's-
really?
No.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think this is
yeah.
like a floor, right?
Yeah.
Oh
With
no,
little candles?
this is a table.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a low table. It's a table that's
Right.
only about 1.5 feet risen off the floor. It's really just a slab so that you can
Oh, I
eat at
see.
it in a recumbent position from all
Yeah.
the couches and cushions.
That's what I thought. Yep. So.
But it's true, it is low enough to walk on.
Put your weird little hooves on my table.
I think Thessia sits down and is like very prim and proper as best as she can, and then eventually just like lays her head on the table for like the cool coldness of it, and just like takes a deep sigh.
Hmm.
And I think after
Were there
oh yeah,
turns?
You spoke of innocence. That you knew someone with the power.
I think Orcris knows someone.
I do, and I was just thinking about giving him a ring. Whatever that means.
A
And
ring?
marrying him.
You're
And
getting
marrying him,
married?
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! Congrats!
No, and I was just thinking about calling for him. I think he can help us.
Here, so the camera's not so far zoomed out. I'll sit here instead. Same thing. Face just like resting on the table. What do you suppose they would do for us precisely? I'm not turning down the help or turning my nose to it. I'm just curious what you might be plotting.
Well, we want to get at the heart of Our Lady's motivation to tribune you so hard.
Yes, there was that detail. I won't lie, my brain has been a little foggy today, so yes, we should do that.
Yes, I can, and I would level him up as a person to do this. So, or I would level him up as a gift.
So you are getting him a ring?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Actually,
Can I be the ring bearer?
I'm just getting him a fuck ton of incense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when you would be able to do that. I'm not gonna pressure you.
I'll have a
We would
bird
like to
sent
go
this
now.
Okay. Is that feasible? Looks at Orcris.
Possibly. I don't usually get him on such short notice, but he's a busy man. He is an inquisitor, and so.
Right.
But perhaps if I skulk about enough, I could find his attention, one way or the other. I can certainly put the word out tonight that I'm interested in speaking.
If I do another wave of murders.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, actually, you know what might be worth it? If we went back to the spearhead. I'm sure there's an investigation taking place of some variety.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that too much. The spearhead is as it's always been.
It's okay. Yeah, that's fair.
The only people who would know to look, the only people who would know where to look at the differences aren't going to, and are just going to, you could just as easily say that those marks have been there forever. You just didn't look because they didn't.
That's true. It's at a weird angle.
Just gaslight them. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. In so many words, right. Understood. Got it.
I don't know what gaslight means.
4 thumbs up from the table. Yep, on it. But yeah, I suppose that's probably the next best course of action. I don't know what else to do at the moment.
Love these two over
Prepare.
here just like,
very, very much vibing.
Yeah.
Inflating warmth.
What were you
Prepare
beginning to say
your-
there?
Your mind. Prepare your effects and final words.
Yeah, those were
Contemplate the possible end.
Oh, I assure you, that's been happening a lot. You don't need to worry about that part. The words could use some work, though. But I think I'll have some good ones. I just need to figure out if they're going to be joyous or rather melancholy. And I still have a little time to figure that out. So.
I'm sorry. Excuse me for interrupting, Master Thessia.
Oh, you're fine.
You're needed upstairs.
Ah. Yes. If you'll all excuse me for but a moment.
No,
What?
we will accompany.
Well, I literally can't tell you no, so I
I
suppose...
don't think that's a good idea. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name when you were announced.
This is Wither, a twiceborn, which... Yeah, so you understand why I think it's a lovely idea.
I would never presume to dictate anything. Of course, I'm only a household servant in any case,
Oh,
but
you're fine. You didn't know.
But why?
You know, I think I have the right to ask that much. Why?
We wish to observe what you do in a mundane sense.
In a mundane sense. Yes, I suppose you've only seen me in the extraordinary circumstances.
To gauge your character.
Ah. Yes, that makes sense, considering who also hired you. Yeah, okay, nope. Then, if you don't mind, I would love to bring my, my companion with me.
I certainly don't have any objections. I will entertain your other guest then.
Thank you so much. He didn't give you any trouble, did he?
Oh, no, of course not. No, of course not.
Uh-huh.
But I do suggest that you go quickly.
Right. That much is true. And she'll kind of hurry up the stairs.
I eat a cracker.
As the two of them head upstairs, Orcris, you notice Xenion kind of watches them go, kind of fidgets a little, gets up from this this seat and walks over to the door, kind of looks around the side of the house, contemplates. No. It sits down next to you.
Something wrong?
They pause again for a moment. No, not at all. I suppose I should get some of this before it's gone.
Indeed. Not to count myself as such a glutton as to eat all of it, but yeah, you better hurry.
I'll make sure there's plenty left. Simony hurries into the kitchen, and oh boy, we going up the stairs.
I'm like bracing for impact.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what could I possibly be thinking of?
All right, give me just a second.
Of
Oh,
course.
that's right. I was gonna start doing this. Hopefully that loads
Oh.
quickly. I should start using this as a loading screen because it's way more visually appealing than just
Can we get
sitting.
tooltips at the bottom?
Oh yeah. If you
Lie to people, they won't trust you.
Feindal can level up your archery.
Archery.
Oh.
Yeah.
There are tutors for your skills throughout the land of Scon. Seek them out to improve your abilities.
Such as Orcris.
All right. Oh boy. So, put you guys there. And we'll set the shot here. And I'm just going to change the music real quick. So, Thessia and Wither, as you follow behind, you walk up your least favorite stairs in the house to your least favorite room in the house. A simple, what was previously a guest room. Your estate has many, most of which go unused and largely at this point no longer even fully cleaned and maintained. But it was cleared out some time ago. It's the most accessible room in the house to important other places, and there's a very important person staying here for an unknowable amount of time. And your mother is waiting for you at the top of the stairs. Thessia?
Mother.
Oh, and Wither. I see.
They wished to tag along.
She raises a hand. No. You don't need to explain yourself. And looks at Wither, and you certainly don't need to explain yourself. That being said, regardless of what your mission may be in coming here, I suggest you don't speak unless spoken to. And, well, given your demeanor, I really can't imagine you raising the temperature of the room, but please refrain from anything that could do that as well.
They think to the fireplace downstairs. They don't understand, but they know what it means to be told, don't say anything.
Right then, Thessia. He just wants to hear an account of recent events, since there have been many.
I see. Well, I will be as honest and entertaining as possible.
And respectful, I hope.
Need I ever say that? I felt that was obvious.
Her top two eyes narrow again.
Puts both light and four hands up. I will always do that.
Be mindful of my father's health, please, as always.
I think, out of respect, Thessia will like knock on one of the walls just to like receive permission first.
Yeah, you give the wall a little thump here to make a sound that can penetrate the heavy, heavy curtains that are stretched entirely across this opening. And from your previous experiences, it's a coin flip at best, whether you will actually get a response to enter or not. Sometimes you're not heard. Sometimes his voice is not strong enough to reach out here. Sometimes he is asleep. And sometimes he just chooses to not bother responding. And this may be one such a time, because you give the wall a little thump, you wait, you don't hear any response.
She will enter and not say anything, because that's not how this works.
Yep. You sweep the curtain aside and enter a room that frankly has the character of death about it, of mourning. Or perhaps of a very stuffy museum. This old, well-appointed guest room is crammed with objects moved from your grandfather's study and brought in so that they could be close to him here. Yet you've always wondered a little at the purpose of that, because you've never once seen him get out of that bed. The grand stained glass door leading out to a miniature balcony has had a curtain likewise draped across it entirely. In fact, until you opened the curtain into the hall, this room was absolutely without light. And now there is only a faint amount in here. And you can smell dust, and you can hear the one thing you can always reliably hear, which is just faint, raspy breaths from beneath the canopy of the massive bed, covered on all sides by curtains.
Thessia will take another step forward and give a deep bow.
Is that Thessia?
It is, grandfather.
Good. Sit, please.
She nods. Thank you. And she'll take a seat and sit very prim and proper.
And you sit, and you... God, how long has it been since you last saw him? Really? Longer, perhaps, than you can even count the days, weeks, or months. But you feel like somehow whenever you sit here, even though the curtains are utterly opaque, it's as though you can feel him there.
Yeah.
Lying on that bed, and you always get the slightly eerie sense that despite where he is, that he can see you perfectly.
So, Arity has told me some of what transpired in the past week. I would hear it from you.
Of course. As you may have heard, we made a connection with another family who owned a mine, and the deal had gone quite well. However, there was a collapse while we were there, and things escalated to the point where Arati and I fell. I cannot confirm how far, but remarkably deep into Gaia.
I suggest, for the sake of decorum, that you refer to your mother as your mother.
My apologies, grandfather.
Continue.
She nods. Mother and I were in a precarious situation as a stone swimmer tried to attack us. Luckily, and I do apologize for this, I do have a companion with me, the individual who helped Mother and I even escape that situation.
And who is this companion?
A twice-born by the name of Wither.
I see. Small wonder, then, that they are still at your side, despite my instructions. I suppose it cannot be helped. You saved your mother's life that day, did you not?
Thessia nods. I invoked the Rune of Thale out of desperation as best I could, and I blacked out, and when I came to, we were on the surface. And shortly after that, I went under again for multiple days until a gentleman by the name of Orcris provided medical aid. And she pauses because she thinks she hears her grandfather's, like, get ready to say something.
No, you, it sounds like that maybe. You hear a little bit, and you kind of get the sense, you feel the presence shift a little, that he is moving a little bit closer, that he's locking in.
And with his help, to become conscious again. I returned to the Shapers School to learn that I will be tried in mere days if I cannot provide a reasonable explanation for the damage done.
I see. This Wither and this Orcris, they are strangers?
At a time, yes, but I would consider them at least companions at this point.
Are they of prominent breeding?
I do not believe so.
I see. Very well, let's discuss something more important. This crime you're alleged to have committed, this great chasm you wrought. How? How did you do it?
She ponders. I don't quite know. I am actually investigating that part of this as well, because I won't lie, I would be fascinated to see if it is not only replicable, but can be controlled. That level of manipulation for the rune is unheard of. Yes, exactly.
I see. You're thinking like a shaper. You're thinking like a shaper with a capable head and power at her disposal. Very good. Naturally, till this point in your career, you have had few such accomplishments to set you out from your peers, despite your talent, despite your breeding, and despite your education. It seems you have struggled to distinguish yourself at times, but no longer. An impressive thing, worthy of respect. Tell me, what was Ninarel's reaction?
Shock, anger, I suppose, is a good word.
I'll bet it was. Oh, poor Ninarel. Naturally, she could never hope to accomplish such a feat herself. Small-minded bureaucrats must take the accomplishments away from their betters whenever they can. I suppose she's likely engaged in some futile effort to pretend that this creation belongs to God. It will avail her of nothing.
Thessia nods. That was her initial direction, to, I guess, protect me. However, she pauses.
There's much naivete still to grind out of you yet, girl. You say she was planning to do something like that. I take it she no longer is.
More, she no longer can. It has become abundantly clear to multiple people that I am indeed the source of the whole. Hence the reason I am doing this investigation, to prove my innocence.
Innocence. Innocence of what? Creation always requires destruction. Progress requires both. That is all you need say in your defense.
I think all four of her hands kind of like tighten up. People were killed, though, and I need to do something about that.
People. What people? Which people?
Civilians.
If you cannot name them, then it would seem that no individual was of great consequence, would it not? And in any case, what handful of individuals could possibly outweigh the advancement that you stand on the cusp of developing? Do you understand, Thessia? If you conduct yourself wisely, this accomplishment that none can deny will bring you to the top of the college, where, I add, you have belonged for some time. You have belonged there since the day that it was taken from me. And to this point, I must say that you have disappointed me. But no longer. I have already made entreaties to a number of interested parties who could revive our family's fortunes, restore the flow of diamonds that we have lost. All because of the extraordinary potential you now represent. Have you any notion? Have you any notion at all what destruction on that scale could do on behalf of the next military campaign? I can tell you that if you have not thought about it, undoubtedly the military has.
It
Do
has...
you understand?
Yes, grandfather. If I may speak freely, though.
Do so.
While it is indeed a remarkable thing that has happened, it still lacks control, and I'm still solidifying what the true conduit is that allows for that level of manipulation. I have theories, but nothing concrete.
With your talent, with your education, I am confident that will not present an obstacle. Unless you're saying I'm wrong about that.
No, never, grandfather. Merely wanted to provide my concern.
Power without control is a troublesome thing, it's certainly true. So it seems to me your path is obvious. Let them stage their tribunal. Let them say whatever harsh, God-fearing words they wish to say before the public. You will take responsibility for that all, and you will take credit for it as well. I do not wish to hear that at your tribunal your defense relied on some spineless appeal to divine intervention. I do not wish to let this opportunity, this rare, extraordinary opportunity for you to distinguish yourself on behalf of this family, go to waste. I would go so far as to say, well, that newfound respect that I harbor for you as a potential successor, that comes with certain expectations. And naturally, I expect you to live up to those expectations. Should you disavow what your power has wrought, you will be choosing to betray them. You will be choosing to fail this family. And I will not tolerate the presence of any traitor in my household. Are we clear?
Yes, grandfather.
Very good, then. Hand me one of the diamonds on that tray, would you?
Of course. She stands up and grabs one and then very gently offers it and also provides a small bow.
Yeah, you hold it up to the curtains, and an emaciated, gnarled, dark gray hand emerges, takes it from yours, and then snakes back inside as quickly as possible.
Very good, then. I believe we have nothing more to discuss. Unless there is anything you would ask of me. Scholarly, of course. I wish to see this mystery unraveled every bit as much as you do, I'm sure. I want to know.
If I could ask, I suppose, do you have any suggestions to help me push my knowledge forward further? I feel as though I've hit a small bump.
On the opposite wall, in a crate by the bookshelf, you will find some of the treatises I was in the middle of composing when I had better use of my hands, and some dating back to my time as head of the college. I will not simply grant it to you, because of course, that's never how it has worked among scholars, among colleagues. But if you prove the aptitude, look among them and you will find my description of my own minor rune, my personal contribution to the body of knowledge that underlies our great colleges. I say this not out of arrogance, but out of simple fact. There is no one more qualified to teach you than me. Would that I had the strength in this wretched form. But should you manage to teach yourself, should you manage to prove worthy of my own rune, I cannot see how that could fail to enlighten you.
That is very kind of you.
It is not. I do this for our family's sake, and for mine.
Well, it is appreciated all the same.
As it should be.
He backs away from the curtain again.
Now leave me.
She takes another deep bow and does not say anything as she exits, and also, like, kind of gives a small gesture to Wither of, like, please follow. Her eye does, because she's in blue still, eye does drift over to the tablet and, like,
Just fucking take it.
honestly, it's
What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do?
I'm-
You get out of bed, chase you down? Fucking take it.
Thessia's not there quite yet. Thessia is like,
Go downstairs, tell Orcus, why didn't you fucking take it? You should just fucking took it.
oh, fine, I'll get it.
Yeah,
There.
I'll take it.
Before Wither leaves, they're going to take one cursory glance back at him. And they're going to see if anything pops out.
Oh. Interesting. You can do that in the mundane sense. Unfortunately, your gift that would most help you here relies on you being able to use your black attribute.
No, they're just going to look over at this person who, from what they've surmised, is the smallest way away from death. Just at its fucking doorstep.
Honestly, he'd probably respect you more if you just took it.
Okay, go ahead and give me a roll to do.
Okay.
There is a lot to him. Your perception of him is the vessel is old and frail. Not even frail. The vessel is cracked. Barely holding together, barely containing what's inside. And part of that is due to the degradation of the physical, but part of that is also due to what and how much is inside. In your eyes, this is a looming presence, much too large to comfortably fit in the cage it has been placed in.
It is a familiar shape. And they walk out.
Thessia, you can see that she's kind of like catching her breath a little bit. Well, thank you for accompanying me. I hope it was educational.
I'll be gone by the time they come back downstairs.
For actual reels?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you going, and how are you choosing to leave anything with, like? But yeah, just where? Yeah.
Just going to work. I'm going to see what I can figure out about. I'm going to see what I can figure out utilizing my buddy Kiln. I'm going to offer him 3 of my incenses, all 3, for you may expend 2 incense invested in Kiln to have him answer any question of your choice. He need not be present at the time if you can justify why you would already have sought out the information at an earlier occasion. GM will answer the question to the best of Kiln's knowledge, after which you can expend 1 more incense to learn whether his answer is objectively true, partially arguably true, or objectively false. If he doesn't have the knowledge to answer your question at all, you will be refunded 1 of the spent incense.
Oh,
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
that's a neat ability.
Oh, he's Ask Jeeves.
He is my
Hang,
surgeon.
it's like that manga panel. Like, hang on, I gotta Google something real quick. Hold up, I'm Googling. How many guys can one guy take? 2 incense. Answer me.
And this expending 3 incense will also level him up.
Well, let me first of all, I guess let's just put you here. If you're out and about.
Oot and a boot.
Yeah. Okay. I should note around the time you leave, it is dipping into evening now.
Yeah,
So
and I
the
gotta
day
get
is
home.
nearly spent, but I think you do have time to try and run this errand on your way back. So yeah. Given that you're invoking the gift, you don't have to make any kind of roll to be like, whoa, but can you find him this evening? Like, no, yeah, you can. The gift says so. So, yes, whether by seeking him out at the college or elsewhere, you manage to hastily arrange a meeting. And what question are you bringing to him?
I want to know. I want to know the extent of the purpose behind. I forget her name.
Etria.
Etria. I want to know the extent of the purpose behind Etria's vigor in prosecuting this case against Thessia.
And let me quickly contemplate what he would know. He'd have a pretty good idea. Again, this is only to the best of his knowledge, so you can assume that there may be elements of supposition in here rather than objective truth. But what he would tell you, this is part of an effort. It's probably not the entirety of that effort, but a major linchpin given the appearance of the whole and how dramatic and unmistakable it was. This is probably part of an effort. She is, as a magistrate, she is not technically part of the religious authority. Hers is a civic office, but there's a lot of incestuous connections between those things. This is probably the religious authorities have been looking out for opportunities to tighten the leash that they hold on the runic colleges. The general backdrop of this being that the runes are viewed as a gift from God, and so there is a certain mysticism to runic magic. But it's not really a settled point of orthodoxy, whether it's like, yeah, no, God gave us these because they want us to use them, or whether it's like, this is power that's been, usurped from God, and using it is actually harmful to God and causes them pain. It's gone back and forth, and so that's sort of part of the reason why the balance of power is there. But at the end of the day, people, Rune Touched, can do amazing, powerful things. And most religious authorities, despite their high station and status and the soft power they wield, at the end of the day, don't have comparable magic powers they can throw around. And so passively, the balance of power has been tilting a little bit more and more to the colleges, or at least more than religious authorities would like. So in all likelihood, the outcome they're seeking from Thessia's tribunal has very little to do with what happens to Thessia per se, and is more about making a broader political point of, wow, we really can't, we've let the Rune Touched on too long of a leash, and they're doing dangerous experiments that are killing people. We need to tighten restrictions and regulations, and when they can use their powers, and who can use their powers, and for what purpose. That relationship, that balance of power, needs to shift back towards the Ecclesiastica to sanction them on pain of, runic colleges being outlawed, since they were always a compromise in the first place.
I see. Okay, that gives me a few ideas.
Kiln kind of goes over this and does it with a tired and cynical smile. That this is his read of the situation based on his personal acquaintance with. He is actually personally acquainted, if distantly, with Etria herself. And you know what? Since you're invoking the gift, I'll throw you one more little tidbit that he'd know. It's not super common knowledge, but I'm sure he would know it, and he'd probably share it for the purposes of context. Etria is the younger sister of the Domina beneath the sky,
Whoa.
who is one of the 2 chief religious authorities in the entire city directly below the Archon.
That's a pretty big chair.
That's interesting. Okay.
And do you want to spend a 3rd incense to know for sure whether there were any inaccuracies in what he told you?
Yes.
His read is absolutely right.
Okay, I thought so. But I mostly just wanted to spend that so that he would level up as a thing.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right. I think after that, I am going to go home. I'm going to check on Father.
Okay. Let's see. Just real quick so that I know, do you say anything in particular to excuse yourself to like Xenion or anyone else when you leave, or are you just kind of like,
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
see ya?
I said I've got some stuff that I need to get taken care of, and
Okay.
I apologize for my rudeness in this regard, but thank you very much. If Thessia's mom is around, I will definitely go out of my way to say goodbye to her and give her my best wishes. And if she needs anything at all, to please don't hesitate to get in touch.
Okay. And can you go ahead and make me a roll to do, please?
Why are my dice? My dice are like shadowed, and like I can't see them at all. I only see like the shadows of these dice.
That's weird.
Sorry. Might be.
Let me try one more time. Hopefully get a better number.
Hopefully changing scenes doesn't fuck that for you.
Okay, yeah, I can see them now. For some reason, it did that with y'all's dice too.
Oh,
That's no good.
might
Okay.
have just been a little glitch.
Hold on, let me try
all
one
right.
more time, see if I get a better number.
Let's see. Okay. So, Orcris, on your path home, at least the simplest path, actually probably leads back through the geode because
Yeah.
your pillar is effectively one of its supports from beneath. And as you make your way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and you are actually homebound in this case. Let me. Where are we?
We're in Scott.
Oh, right. So silly of me. As you are nearing the point where you would walk down and basically enter your home from the top. It's only when you're pretty much all the way there that you look around and you realize that you've been followed once again, and you're not sure for how long, but it annoyingly it took you longer than you would like to admit to have realized, like, oh, this is not a coincidence. And oh god, I'm scrambling because I
Absolutely just keep walking past my house, if that's the case.
Okay, yeah. Let me real quick. Yeah. It's actually yeah. It's these guys who are keeping a pretty far distance from you.
Knew I should have stabbed them earlier.
They're keeping quite a distance from you, but it's unmistakable. And when you stop, they eventually stop a ways back from you before resuming walking. So you're gonna walk. You're not gonna actually go home. You're gonna end
Yeah,
up
I will
walking
give
past
no
it.
indication whatsoever that that's where I live.
Okay. And assuming they continue to follow you, what's your next play?
I suppose I will. I'll enter a pretty public area where, a lot of
Mhm.
people coming back and forth and stuff like that, and then I'll turn around and walk straight toward them.
Okay. You do so. You double back and you walk pretty much straight toward them. And as you start to get a little closer, you see them drift apart a little bit. And one of them kind of moves off to the side, parting so that you have enough space if you're walking in a straight line to just
Oh
pass
no, I'm making
between them.
direct eye contact with
Oh,
with,
okay.
with
Okay.
at least one of them.
They start
I-
doing that, but you just home in on one of them directly. And let's see. Yeah, he's yeah, he looks at you kind of curiously, and he allows you to walk straight up to him. He kind of
Can I-
looks at you expectantly, like you would if someone walked up to you in the street.
Can I help you with anything?
No. He kind of he cocks his head a little.
That's interesting because you've been following me. I figured you might be looking for something.
I think you must be mistaken, friend.
Are we friends?
Well, gosh, I mean, it'd be going awful fast, but I do like having friends. I like them quite a bit. I'm meeting some of them here, in fact. He kind of looks past you to this crowded space. So, if you don't mind, I'd just as soon sit down and wait in peace.
Very well. My mistake. Have a good evening.
You as well.
I get back. Once he sits down. I will walk along my way. Try to get a sense as to whether or not they're following me still.
Yeah, go ahead and make a roll to do.
Oh.
Yeah, you make your way away from the crowd and keep careful watch behind you at various sight lines, and you are confident that you are no longer being followed by them.
Okay. Once I know that, I will make my way back home.
All right. Do you have stuff that you want to do on screen at home, or were you just saying like, "Oh, I'm going home," to make it clear what your character is doing?
We can cut away and then come back. Unless where are we at? It was starting at 5 is so weird. Let me see.
Well, we didn't start right at 5, so we're a little
Yeah.
shy of 3 hours, but it is also in game. It's getting close to the end of a day.
Yeah.
So probably what I would choose to do would either be if there's something that you do want to make sure you do on screen before the end of this day, more or less. We could do that now.
Yeah.
And I would also want to cut back to Thessia's house to see if same for her and Wither.
I'd say cut back to Thessia. And then we'll jump on to me if everyone's cool with that.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I never know what fucked up shit you're planning, so I don't know what cliffhanger we're ending on. All right. Let's see. Well, yeah, we'll go back here and let's do.
Got them colored pencils.
Yep, I'm done with them though.
Where are you? Yeah, let's do this. So back at the estate. Let's see. I'm gonna put you over here. And we're gonna drop that swing, and then, yeah, you'll be there. Okay, yeah. So, Thessia and Wither. Cha-cha-cha. Get out of the way, UI. So, Thessia and Wither, you come back downstairs after that slightly tense, slightly ominous little heart-to-heart, and Arati is waiting for you, sitting reclined here but watching the stairs. And when you come back down, she moves from a reclined position to sitting up on it, and kind of gives you a quizzical look. How did it go?
I mean, it went fine enough. You know, honestly, it's the kindest he's ever spoken to me. So,
Well, that's worrying.
yes, it seems he likes the fact that I made a big hole that killed over a dozen people.
My father is...
Unique?
He has very purposeful goals. You understand that about him, don't you, Thessia?
Oh, yes.
And I know he can be cold, and I know he can be difficult. But understand that my determination to preserve this family, I get it from him. It's all he thinks about sometimes, I think. And
That's-
he expects everyone under this roof to do their part. And I agree that he could show more gratitude for it and be more polite about it. And I know we've had this conversation so many times, and I don't know why I'm bringing it up again. Just don't judge him too harshly, please.
Thessia, like, kind of leans down. I won't. And all I do know is that, considering his strictness and high expectations and bluntness and coldness, and I'll stop the adjectives and descriptors there,
Thank you.
I'm extremely thankful for who you are. Because you give me the pushes I need. You are always guidance that I desperately need. And best of all, you are still so kind to me. So thank you.
Oh. Oh. My little pebble.
It's actually very cute.
Well, I'm going to take your advice for once. I believe I
Oh.
will take an early night.
That's lovely to hear, honestly.
And you will not admonish me about it again for at least a week, am I understood?
It's already forgotten,
Good.
but do sleep well.
I'll try, dear. Have a wonderful evening yourself, Wither. You have the run of the estate. Please ask my daughter or any of the servants if there's anything at all we can do on your behalf. Message received, I will assume.
They mean, well, they mean thank you. I'll go make sure that they're all right. Thessia kind of pops outside. Oh, setting on.
Oh.
Hello.
The second you do, step.
Thessia sees that and is like, well, if they're going to do it, I want to do it because it's been tempting for too long. And they're also just going to like hop over the railing and just kind of like stomp through it and also be like on the lookout for the rake.
Oh yeah. The rake is cast aside somewhere. It definitely looks like the frequency and meticulousness of the maintenance on these patterns has taken a unavoidable hit in the past few days.
That's fine. I think Thessia, this is one of the things that Thessia is like, she kind of wants to do this herself because one, it is a very calming thing to do, and also it gives her the right to step on it when she wants to. I think Thessia will kind of like let the sand kind of go between her toes and look up at her sibling. Do you want to take a step? Honestly, it's remarkable feeling.
Oh.
Only if you want. I don't want to pressure you into anything.
No, honestly, I have been waiting for you to ask. They flip over the balcony onto this and walk along it a few paces and then hop off next to these cacti.
There is something satisfying about it, I must admit.
It is a curious feeling between the toes.
I also just mean in like breaking the pattern. Making your own. Soothing.
I know what you mean.
I think Thessia's eyes wander for a moment at the destructive force that is Wither just blasting through all of them.
Dig a hole.
I'll probably need to stop that in a moment, but...
They seem very interesting in the moments where they deign to speak. And I don't know if many people would agree, but I think they're pretty interesting in the moments when they choose not to.
I must admit, they are watching you dig a hole like a dog. Fascinating. Curious to say the least, though I don't know. Something about them always seems a little off. Politely, of course. But there's something else going on there.
Xenion kind of hops up and squats on this low stone wall and puts a hand to their chin. So, Wither or Orcris, then who is stranger? Who is more interesting? Who would you want to know more about?
Thessia puts all four of her elbows on the kind of, I guess, the deck or porch and kind of looks up. I feel like I'd want to learn more about Orcris because I don't know how open he'd be. I find the man fascinating. Wither is... well, they're an open book about their thoughts, at least. Well, hold on, let me think about that more. Cups her chin.
Unless they're not saying what they think. Unless they're saying what they want you to hear.
Kind of like waggles a finger. That is a fair point, and I should have considered that a little bit earlier.
They say Twiceborn are these holy objects of worship. I don't know, my experience, limited admittedly, they've always seemed more like regular people to me, just with a few differences. And regular people lie and hide things.
This is true, but there are also plenty of people who are sort of blunt. Take our grandfather, for instance. They're rather open about their feelings about things of the sort. They may not say everything, but if they do want you to know something, they'll make it abundantly clear. So, I don't know. Looks back over at Wither.
You can't see them anymore.
Oh,
You should-
God.
You should go and find out before it's too late.
Yeah, I guess so. I also need to find the rig. Wither!
If I don't see you again tonight, good night, Thessia.
I can't imagine disappearing on you once again. I will pop by your room to say goodnight, as a decent sibling should. So I'll see you in a bit.
All right, I'll wait for you.
Nods. So I can't see Wither, so Thessia's like gets here and is like, oh wait, they might be under the sand, and is moving much more slowly and cautiously. Wither? Hello? Oh God. Are you... I guess you don't really need to breathe. Are you alright?
There's a little bit. There's a little bit. They can't cover up.
So...
SpongeBob with just the nose poking.
Basically.
So I guess I'll ask one of two things. What are you doing?
They do you see an arm move to uncover the face area? There's only about an inch and a half of sand above them. It seems like they were trying to bury themselves, but it doesn't really work when you can't get that deep.
Yeah.
We wish to know. We wish to be buried. To understand. Maybe a fraction of a fraction of how you felt in the moments before you spiraled.
That was actually going to be my second question, which was, did you
Though
want... Oh.
we have nothing to protect.
There's nothing you care for? Nothing you'd be afraid to lose if you couldn't escape this little sandy prison? Not one person, one thing?
No.
Truly, if Wither did wither away this very day, there would be no regrets, no remorse, no second thought.
No. Because if we do not come back again, then it does not matter.
It does not matter to you. I haven't known you very long, but I'd admit I'd be pretty disappointed to see you go. I wouldn't have much to say at your funeral, because I don't know a lot about you, but, I mean, you've made an impact on my life. I imagine there's plenty of others who have had far more experience with you, who have many more important things to say, many kinder things, and would shed a tear for you.
It is okay. You will not.
You're
No.
content with that?
No. The words are wrong. It is not easy to understand. The words are lost.
Then maybe your idea of trying to experience what I have may help you find those words, or at least solidify the feeling. So if you're as comfortable as you're going to get, I can start piling sand on you.
Very well.
Thessia is going to start putting sand and as much as possible fully cover Wither. And I'm going to let it sit for a bit, and then I'm going to start, like, reach down and start pushing you, adding more pressure and weight.
Oh, turn me into diamond.
But Thessia's not going to say anything.
Now our family's crisis will be solved.
This is the true source of them. We've run out of bodies.
Thessia doesn't really
Okay,
say
okay.
anything. She's just like, she's kind of clicking like, Wither is weird. If I want to connect, I need to be kind of weird too. So let's just try this.
What are you doing, freak?
Ew,
I feel your little fingernails, what the fuck?
Yeah. I don't.
They sit there in the stillness, in the pressure, in the sensory deprivation. It's like the pressure has kind of overwhelmed everything such that it is numb. It is like that numb fog that they walk around in. But it's condensed. And it's around. And they can't tell whether they're lying here in your garden or they're at the very, very belly of Scon. And they try to think back to their earliest memory of when they woke up, or when they realized that waking up was even an option. Thinking back farther and farther, it's almost like the longer they go since the moment that they were twice born, the harder it becomes to remember that moment. And they're not really sure if their memories of it are real or just things that they've kind of picked up from hearing about other people who have been twice born and the moments when they've unearthed other twice born themselves.
Would you like to... You're in the right color for this.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to give me that green roll to do?
Sure would.
Ooh, pretty good.
Not bad, not bad.
Things get harder and harder, indeed, to remember clearly as you get closer and closer in your memories to that moment, in a way that you wouldn't know, but you've been told is true of people's first births as well. And it seems that most people who are not twice born, who you've ever thought to ask on the subject, have said that they can't remember their birth at all, and in fact, most can't really remember much of anything from before the age of 5 or 6. And that's always seemed odd and unrelatable to you, because as you cast your mind back to there, you feel that in spite of the memories being hazier, the moment of your birth does live in your memory. And in fact, the curious thing about it, the thing that you've never heard anyone else express this sentiment, not even really the other twice-born you've mentioned it to, it wasn't really a moment. It doesn't feel like a moment in your memory when you went from not existing to existing. It feels more like the way you imagine a building feels going through construction. The scaffolding, the walls, the floors, the finishing, that it's a gradual process of moving from nothing to something. And often No. And the rest of that thought kind of is snatched away from you at the last moment, but the stewing in the dark, the cooking, the gradual formation of what you now recognize more or less as yourself. That was not a moment. That was not even a short process. That was some time. That was some time in the dark before you eventually felt some ability to move a body, and the dark slowly gave way to traces of light, and you were walking around somewhere. And you looked back, and the way you had come from, you couldn't even say. Maybe that's what you grab onto when you put your mind to mapping and knowing every inch of the underground. The fact that perhaps the place of greatest significance to you managed to escape you that day, in spite of you having been there for so long. That's what you feel when you think back.
And they will think to that lack, that yearning for that path they don't remember, and that memory that they can't seem to grasp. And if they were Thessia in this moment, that path would be their mother. And so they think to that and how they have lost it. And they try and apply that here. That's the thing they want to protect. They want that answer.
Whether the more you think back to that here in the dark, tamped down, been tamping the soft earth on top of you, Thessia, during this. In the dark, underground, and the sensation of being buried, it's the closest you've been in some time to recreating that sensory deprivation of the perfect darkness and lack of anything else. It feels like void. And in the dark here, with nothing else to distract you, you do slowly begin to hear them again. You can unwound your black stat.
Whoa.
And as you reconnect with the part of you that is nothing and full at the same time, it seems that the collective sway of the voices bends toward making up lost time. In particular, they've been hung up on something else. That old man, that wretched old near-death half-corpse lying in that bed that you saw as a cracked vessel brimming over, just barely holding together some potent essence inside. It doesn't feel entirely dissimilar to how it felt when you connected with, when you acquired the essence of that reforged object the other day. That so much wisdom and life learned and well, for lack of a better word, soul in such a frail and tiny thing, just practically looking for any way to leak out. And you are nothing if not an ideal receptacle. And it comes to you in a flash. A divine inspiration shouted out to you from the chorus. make that old man part of us. That's where we're gonna end for tonight.
Ooh. And
Hungry.
we'll pick up with Orcris at the beginning for next
Oh
one.
fuck! I forgot about it. Oh my god! I'm so sorry.
Real quick.
Real quick. Orcris is like, what? Is someone getting up to something more fucked up than me?
No,
I
no, no,
won't
no, no.
I
allow
doubt
it.
that very much.
Not possible. And let me show
Oh,
you.
let me guess. You
What?
have a grandpa to eat too. Big whoop.
Big. What?
Looney Tunes Porky Pig burst through the back. I'm not done.
Not that, folks.
What floor are we going to, Austin?
We'll start with checking on Pop,
Okay.
and then we'll go to the basement.
Okay. Let me just.
You're gonna eat my grandpa?
Yeah, I had it in mind anyway, so like
Okay.
don't worry about it.
Well,
Don't even worry about it.
if you do, like, make sure you don't touch the tablets. I want those.
All right. Yeah, meanwhile, after an annoying detour, Orcris, you do make it back to the pillar that you call home.
Father, how are you feeling?
Dreadful.
What?
I just said dreadful. The same as always.
Well, that's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that, Father.
The fever's back.
I'll see what I can do. Had a bit of an adventure today, Father. So I've encountered someone in the city. Someone very special. I believe she has invented her own rune. And that rune has torn a massive hole in the center of the city. We went to go see what was at the bottom of the hole.
What did you find?
A snake of sorts. A stone swimmer. Highly evolved from the rest of its ilk, this one was entirely inlaid with amethyst. I jumped inside of its mouth.
Why?
To see if it would grant you the joy that my death would bring.
He looks away from you, but otherwise does not respond.
Here's your medicine, Father.
He tries to reach for it, and it is too weak to even do
I
that.
shove
much.
it down his mouth.
Yeah, no, he just opens it.
It will help you.
Why will you not let me?
Let you die? Father, you're on the cusp of death. It will claim you any day. Be patient. In the meantime, I will take my revenge. And I will savor it.
Do as you like then.
The pillar will become mine once you die. Worry not. I have plans for it.
Is it not? This is not yours already. Is it not?
What, you thought it would go to my brother? He's dead. He, his wife, and his children. I'm all that's left. You sick, feeble old man. As I am the fruit of your loin, this situation that we find ourselves in is the fruit of your actions.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I should think so.
I'm sorry that I could not help you.
Help me. You did everything you could in your laughable, feeble attempts. You did everything you could.
No. There was time before. That is what I am sorry for.
What?
I don't know why you had to leave, but I am sure that it was my doing. And for that I am sorry.
Do you know what I'm sorry for, Father? I'm sorry that you will die. I'm sorry that you won't even be able to die with the memories of what you did, of how you treated me. I believe you when you say you don't remember. What do you think this medicine does? This medicine does nothing but keep you from remembering a horrid life filled with lies, deceit, betrayal. A life of guilt that would rack any man to...
Annoyingly, he seems to have fallen asleep.
Very well, Father, we will have this dance again on the morrow. I'll go downstairs.
And downstairs again.
And downstairs again.
A switch, and it slides aside. And a familiar darkness is waiting for you at the bottom. The safest place you can imagine.
Gentlemen, I have returned with dinner.
Please, I don't know what you want.
Oh, they can't speak. I cut out their tongues.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Here you are. Sorry I couldn't get back to you.
Yeah, you slop it down to them, and they, as you expect, and as they have been doing, they are not in a position to do anything other than kind of fall onto it and try and grab it with their hands and put it in their mouths, grind it against their teeth manually.
People are looking for you.
Hmm?
They're looking for you. It's a bit of a bother. I don't know why I bothered kidnapping orphans who would be missed. What should I do about that?
One of them manages to stand up, and you hear a little thwack as he jumps and hits the underside of the grate with his hand.
Still got some fight in you. That's your brother you're eating.
You immediately hear them both vomit.
Well, don't waste it. It's all you're getting.
No, as you expect, all you hear from them beyond that point is faint whimpering and moaning.
Now, suppose I need to worry about Etria. I'll put some thought into it.
Some thought, you say? Any substances, perchance?
Oh yeah.
What's describe to me what's the order of the evening?
I think I'm going to take my usual dream line. I'm going to I'm going to mix in some of that plant from this morning into it.
Wow.
Interesting that something that sees so little light could grow in so dark a place. Typically, if you're going to find something that does that, it's going to be a fungus, not necessarily a plant. And so that's kind of interesting. But I'll take this, and I'll pour a little cup out. I need something to drink. I will open the cage. Knife ready if he feels like getting froggy. I have a drink for you. Don't worry, this one won't make you a cannibal.
Are you passing it down to him, or are you just gonna like
I'll hand
dump
it.
it on?
I'll hand
Okay.
it. I'll hand it out to him. I'm not wasting it.
He takes it in a shaky hand and looks at it and sniffs it, and then appears to gradually come to the realization that he doesn't really have a choice, since you haven't given them as much water as they would obviously like. And after staring at it for a while gloomily, he pours it in his mouth and winces as it passes over the stub of his tongue.
That wasn't so bad. Have a seat. You'll soon be distracted from your hunger. I close the door.
As the door is shutting, he throws the goblet back up and it clangs off the underside.
And what should I do? What should I do? Maybe I should see to it that you aren't so recognizable. Maybe I should slice your face off. Just like this. I'll take the knife, press it up against my cheek. And I'll let the dream wine do whatever it's going to do at that site.
Yeah. You press the knife up to your face, and you feel your eyes starting to get a little heavy, and you're confident. Your muscle memory is good enough that you would never like accidentally cut your face,
No.
even in these circumstances. So you're confident that you don't. And so as the knife falls to your side again, and you see sort of dark red haze spilling out in front of your eyes, it gives you the visual image of your blood just wafting out of your body. But you know that it's just the beginning of another night of fantastical visions, and hopefully some sort of guidance on how you're going to go about your next great labor. And I think that is where we'll stop tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
I'll figure out what they're good for.
Oh, they're always good for something.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Spies who can't talk?
Poor guys.
All right. Well, I guess that's where we'll wrap it then.
All right.
Yes, sirree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, say goodbye to chat.
Bye-bye.
Toodles.
Well, you can. This is about the point in the campaign that I was thinking of when I was like, I should probably just go ahead and tell people that this is an evil campaign so that they're not completely blindsided by this shit.
What a freak. I love him.
Yeah, his never let it be said that Austin does not commit to the bit. He understood the assignment, and and he did not shy away from it. He did not half-ass it. There are no padded edges on his character. Oh boy. All right, well.
We learned a lot this session. Many things happened.
Yeah. I said it in the chat, but yeah, no. Orcris, like, weirdly kind of like backdoor being like, what if I became your new father? Like, all of Orcris's interactions with Thessia's mom are just my favorite. It's so funny. All right.
Oh boy.
Let's go ahead and look at some fan art. We do have a bit. All right. Let me get a nice little browser window open. Go ahead and let me see if there's an imager. There is. It's from Rosie the Reveler. Thank you very much for that. And let's take a little peek. So first from Enid Huid, we've got Gaslight, Gatekeep, Girl Boss. Then also from Enid Huid. Hang on, I want to try and combine.
How do you combine
these
Armstrong
voices?
and this guy?
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't fret over every egg.
And then also from Enid, I already befriended your mom last night. And also from Enid,
Diggy, diggy hole.
dig and dig and dig and diggity dig. And from Enid,
He better not be.
you are my little meow meow.
Awful. Horrendous.
I'll have to ask Austin what he thinks of my Orcris impression someday. Thank you all for the stream. Thank you, Mystic TH. Yeah. So that's our fan art for tonight. Remember, if you would like to submit your own and see it shown and read on stream, you can do so on the Stabbiness Discord, which you can find right here. It's got channels to discuss this show and all the other shows that run on Stabbiness. And also, if you are looking for the VODs that make up this series, you can find them on the Stabbiness YouTube channel. And lastly, if you are looking for more content about this show or you would like to show your support, I have a Patreon right here that's got everything you could need for those activities. And there's going to be new content every week for as long as I can keep it up, hopefully forever,
Whoa.
as long as this show is running. Yeah. Thanks everyone for coming tonight. I'm Tom. I ran this game. And I hope you'll come and enjoy the next episode next week. I
hope you'll be Tom next week, too.
I hope I will be Tom as well. And that'll be Wednesday, 6 p.m. on Stabbiness, as always, as we continue onward toward the slowly boiling climax of this little opening arc of the game. For now, we'll bid you all have a good night, and this will be up on the YouTube tomorrow if you want to catch it there. Say goodbye to chat, just me and Oz.
Bon matin, good night.
Good night.